2025 Metropolitan School District of Wayne Township Board of Education regular board meeting is called to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In Mrs. Burke's absence, I'll do the roll call this evening. Mike Nance. Present. Sherry O'Day Marcotte.
Present.
Ramika Graham.
Present.
Ben Wakefield.
Present.
Susan Graves.
Present.
I'm Brandon Bowman. Please note that Karen Burke is absent this evening. Moving on to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt this evening's agenda?
Make a motion that we accept this evening's agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is passed. We have an oath of office, Dr. Butts.
Mr. President, if you wouldn't mind administering that oath, we have a new officer that we'd like to bring on board to the Wayne Township, MSD Wayne Township Police Department. I believe Dr. Samuel has the actual oath.
Thank you, sir. All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jeffrey Patterson, do solemnly swear that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States
The Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and will faithfully discharge my duties
faithfully discharge my duties
as a police officer with the MSD of Wayne Township,
as a police officer
with the
in
MSD,
MSD Wayne Township.
with fairness,
Fairness,
integrity,
equity,
diligence,
diligence,
and impartiality,
partiality.
according to the best of my abilities.
That's what.
Congratulations.
The official signing ceremony. Steve Boomer, time while Officer Patterson is signing the oath, where will his duty assignment be?
He's assigned to Chapel.
Okay, excellent.
High school.
Officer Patterson, on behalf of the school board, I'd like to present to you this certificate of appointment that you can hang in your office, hopefully at Chapel Hill. It says Jeffrey Patterson has been appointed by the Metropolitan School District of Wayne Township Board of Education to serve as a school police resource officer of the authority of Indiana Code 20-26-3 with all powers, privileges, and immunities granted by Indiana Code 20-26-16-6, effective on the date affixed below. The appointment shall hold valid until withdrawn by the Board of Education appointed this 8th day of September 2025. Congratulations, sir. Absolutely. We'd like the official picture of the fifth. Steve, you want to jump in?
Absolutely. Need to get something right there.
You'll have plenty of time. Awesome. Officer Patterson, if you wouldn't mind, I know we talked a little bit before the board meeting, just sharing with the board a little bit about your history and the work that you've done leading up to being here at the MSD Wayne Township.
Well, I was IPD initially, and most of my time was spent at training academy. I came on, I was North District during IPD, then of course, finished out my career with Metro Downtown District as a community resource officer, moved to Southport, loved Southport High School. Then was seeking an opportunity that best fit my values.
Yeah.
Which is Wayne in Chief Boomershine. And, I'm backing up my
I was
mom.
gonna say, you brought something with you, you want to introduce your wife?
Yeah, that's my wife, Kelly Patterson. She's actually an administrator at Berry side. So, I said, you really don't have to come. This is my third time. She goes, I'm gonna go. She was invited to dinner tonight. She came here, so.
Awesome.
That's it.
Well, congratulations. Speaking of which, if you would like to, take your wife to dinner at this time, it'd be a good time. You're welcome to stay. It's an open meeting. So we certainly understand if you guys would like to make a,
Do I get a township credit card for that?
watch your mouth. Congratulations. Absolutely, please, yeah.
And maybe my wife.
Janine, would you mind taking an official picture? Right.
No, well, you first, sorry.
You can do that once, right?
It's really.
You'll feel up there, right, perfect, so that's your voice.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. President and Board, Dr. Samuel shared with me right afterwards, it's now complete. Our entire force is being tier 1 police officers, which we've been working on since we first became a department. So it's been almost 2 years now, and we have all tier 1 officers at this time.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll suspend our regular board meeting and open a preliminary collective bargaining agreement here.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. One of our requirements as part of our collective bargaining process each time that we open up the agreement for negotiation. The 2019 Indiana General Assembly enacted legislation known as Senate Enrolled Act 390, codified at Indiana Code 20-29-6-1 subset B, requiring a school employer and school employees to hold a public hearing and take public testimony to discuss the items described in the Indiana Teacher Collective Bargaining Law, specifically Indiana Code 20-29-6-1A, before engaging in formal collective bargaining. Therefore, the Metropolitan School District of Wayne Township and the Wayne Township Classroom Teachers Association hereby convene this public hearing in accordance with Senate Enrolled Act 390. Members of the Wayne Township Classroom Teachers Association serving on the negotiations team include our President, Melissa Pretty Allen from Wayne Township Preschool. Past President from Ben Davis High School, Dan Stefano. Executive Director, Joni Lawler. Michelle Hine from McClellan Elementary. Jen Block from McClellan Elementary. Alistair Lute from Westlake Elementary, all officers. Scott Hatfield, past president from Maplewood. Also Lisa Braden from Sanders. Brian Hartman from the 9th grade center. Thank you for being here. Also Melissa Mooney from Ben Davis High School. Ryan Kloffenstein from Roby. Itzel Garcia Flores from Stout Field, and Paxton Davis from Ben Davis High School will make up the team for the Wayne Township Classroom Teachers Association. Appreciate you both being here. Also representing the MSD of Wayne Township Board of Education and Management team during this process, Dr. Shania Suggs, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, Dr. Steve Samuel, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations, President Bowman, Past President Mika Graham, Deputy HR Officer Kyle Fessler, Deputy Finance Officer Amy Eaton, Mark Renault from Chapel Hill, Terry Matthews from Chapel Wood, Brayden Mendenhall from Ben Davis High School, Rob Irvin from Westlake Elementary, Dominic Day from the 9th grade center, Aretha Britton, Rhodes Elementary, and Jen Nichols from McClellan Elementary. Board of Education recognizes and values public comments on educational issues and understands the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school district matters. Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3, the open door law, provides that all meetings of the governing bodies and public agencies must be open at all times for the purposes of permitting members of the public to observe and record them. Board President will recognize speakers and invite them to speak in the order in which they signed up. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record. As a rule, the members of the board do not respond to comments at this time. Each person's statement should not exceed 2 minutes. Comments should be specific to collective bargaining of teacher salary, wages, and wage-related fringe benefits. Comments should not reference patrons or students in the corporation. No attire with provocative verbiage, symbols, or images, nor any signs will be permitted. Board President may excuse a person who is simply repeating what has already been said, is abusive, or is rude. The hearing is now open for public comment. We have one individual who is signed up to speak, and that is Alyssa Pretty Allen.
I just want to say thank you for hearing us this time.
Appreciate your leadership through this. I know these are trying times, and as first year president, I know you have a great team you put together that'll be very supportive and engaged in the process. So we thank you both for being here. Mr. President, that is all at this time.
Thank you. At this time, we will close the preliminary collective bargaining agreement hearing and move into a 2026 budget hearing.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, included in your packet this evening, you'll find a couple documents that we will review over the next few minutes. The first of those being the Form 3 notice to taxpayers. This document is the next step in the budget process. It should look pretty familiar as we went through a draft of this at our previous working session and when we began to communicate with you regarding this budget process. These numbers are very similar, slightly different. We did get the assessed valuation numbers back in between that last time and this time. So you would notice that we bumped up our estimate on the referendum fund in order to ensure that we capture those values appropriately. Other than that, really pretty straightforward from the information that we reviewed last time. I would note that we have appropriated the $5 million in rainy day fund. We don't anticipate needing that. That is just a safeguard to ensure we don't have to come back and ask the board for any further action with regard to appropriations over the next calendar year. There's no action needed on Form 3 this evening. Again, it is a review of what we have posted on Gateway as our notice to taxpayers. As you may remember, the next step in the budget process will occur in October. At that time, we'll ask the board to adopt the proposed budget. And then once that approval occurs, if the DLGF will receive that, we'll await them supplying us a 1782 in December to finish that process and move us forward into the 2026 budget year. So with that, I welcome any questions that you have. And at the conclusion of those questions, we would be set to move forward with the capital assets hearing and budget replacement.
Dr. Sandals, for clarification, would that move us to agenda item 3C, the additional appropriations resolution?
I apologize, no, we would need action, we're doing action on the capital assets and budget replacement.
Very good.
Yes, there's no questions on Form 3. We can move.
Very good. Thank you.
Moving on to the capital assets hearing, I don't believe anybody has signed up for public comment on either of those either.
No.
Thank you. Members of the board, including in your documents this evening, you will also find the capital assets plan. This is another legal step required by state statute. We are expected to list all purchases over $10,000. As you can imagine, this is a pretty common occurrence in a district and organization our size. And you may note that our plan includes technology, building, and safety equipment, along with various interior renovations, exterior renovation, and site improvement. We specifically keep that pretty broad to allow us latitude to take care of those needs over the course of the 2026 budget. I welcome any questions that you have and humbly ask for approval of the 2026 capital assets plan as presented.
I move for approval of the 2026 capital assets plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the 2026 capital assets plan. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the capital projects plan is approved. Thank you, Dr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. President. Moving to the bus replacement hearing, again, just for clarification, Do we have anybody signed up for public comment with regard to bus replacement?
We did not have anyone session.
Thank you. So members of the board, also in your documents this evening, you will find the bus replacement plan. This is a continuation of the old bus replacement fund documents. Like the rest of our budget, this is an estimation. It is really a carryover from a time past when the bus replacement fund was a separate fund allocated to schools. I would note this plan does include a reduction from our typical 14 buses that we would replace, reduced to 12 as we prepare for some reduced revenues and, I think more importantly, reach a point of equilibrium with our fleet. Thanks to your investment in new buses over the last 10 years, we believe that we can maintain our 10-year lifespan for buses at this point by purchasing 12 instead of 14. Of course, we will monitor that and ensure that the buses continue to hold up at the appropriate level over the next year and beyond. With that, I welcome any questions that you may have and humbly ask approval of the 2026 bus replacement.
I move for approval of the 2026 bus replacement plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the approval of the 2026 bus replacement plan. Any comment or discussion?
Good question. The bus replacement plan is several years out but it remains 125,000 per bus. Is that just an estimate as to what cost would be? I take it in the next 4 years.
That's correct.
Okay.
Regrettably, this form now is, it is part of the process, but has no legal bearing on either or impact on the budget or on what you're able to spend on a bus. You're just required to submit the plan. And so if we get to 2027 and can only afford 10 buses and let's say hypothetically, the new tariff is in place and all of a sudden they're 150,000, maybe you can only buy 8. So this doesn't bind you to having to buy 12, doesn't bind you to a maximum cost of 125. It really is just a part of the process to submit. This would be a great thing for the General Assembly to eliminate in some of the processes that we're required to do, but it's hanging on.
Okay.
It's hanging on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the bus replacement plan is approved. Thank you, Dr. Samuel. And I believe that will move us on to agenda item 3C, the additional appropriation resolution.
Once again, thank you, Mr. President and members of the board. In your documents this evening, you'll find the additional appropriation resolution. As we discussed in previous meetings, this resolution is needed as we fully shift expenses back to the referendum fund from operations in order to balance those expenditures. The main impact here is the spend down of cash balance in the referendum fund. As always, I welcome any questions that you may have and respectfully ask for approval. The additional appropriation resolution, which I should have noted has been posted on our website for review by the public for the appropriate amount of time.
I move for approval of the additional appropriation resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of the additional appropriations resolution. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the resolution is approved. Thank you, Dr. Samuel.
Thank you.
And this time, we will close the public hearing and resume our regular board meeting. Dr. Buss, do we have anyone sign up for public comment this evening?
We did not have anyone sign up for public comment, Mr. President.
Board, as part of your board docs, you're provided with minutes from our last several meetings, included a working session and executive sessions in the past month. Looking for a motion and a second to approve the minutes provided.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes that are provided. Second.
A motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes are approved. Thank you. Moving on to the financial report, Dr. Samuel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, included in your document for tonight's meeting, you should have found the claims docket totaling $32,947,933.24. I welcome any questions that you have and respectfully ask for approval of the financial report as presented.
I move for approval for the financial report as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the financial report. Any comment or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The financial report is approved. Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Moving on to new business and human resources, Dr. Suggs.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, you've received in board docs, the Human Resources Reports A1 and A2. Addendum A1 and Addendum A2 have been made available for your review. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have and respectfully ask for approval of Human Resources Reports A1, A2, Addendum A1, and Addendum A2 as presented.
I move for approval of HR reports A1, A2, and addendum A1 and A2.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for the human resources reports. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the human resources reports are approved. Thank you, Dr. Suggs.
President.
Donations this evening.
Mr. President, members of the board, respectfully, Dr. Walters and I request your consideration of the following donation. Hygiene items and supplies valued at $400 from International Paper to be shared with the Southfield Clinic in classrooms. $25,000 from Omnisource to assist in funding school initiatives and programs at Southfield. Annual donations of Kleenex and dry erase markers valued at $500 from Ladies Auxiliary to McClellan students. School supplies valued at $4,000 from Kids in Need Foundation to Chapel Glen students. And Kleenex valued at $600 from Southern Blazers Wine and Spirits to benefit all elementary students.
And from secondary to $1,000 donations from the Indy West Wrestling to Ben Davis Athletics for our girls and boys wrestling teams. $3,500 from American Legion Post 64 to help fund travel expenses for the high school drill team. Various parts, including a steel sheet tubing and piping from Indy Steel LLC to BD welding classes. We respectfully request for approval of these donations.
I move for approval for the donations as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the donations. Any comment or discussion?
Dr. Pierce, I'm familiar with OmniSource, but the $4,000 to kids from Kids in Need Foundation at Chapel Glen, are you familiar with that one? That's great. I mean, it's wonderful, but I don't know Kids in Need. Do you?
I'm not sure. I do know that that was all school supplies that they donated. I could get a little more information on that if you'd
I
like.
just wondered.
Yeah, and the Omnisource donation, you know, they are the ones that gave the Kubota last year. And so they wanted to do a similar contribution this year. And so they came up with that $25,000. And then worked with the school to prioritize a really lengthy list of things that they're going to be supporting throughout the year this year. That's really exciting.
So they mark that just a real quick Google on. I know.
Sorry.
They are a national organization focusing on students who have the most significant barriers. They focus on schools where 70% or more are eligible for free and reduced lunch, the national school programs. So, yeah, they're a national organization.
Great.
You know,
That is nice.
Thank you, Dr. Mack.
Any additional comment or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Pierce and Dr. Walters. The donations are approved.
Thank you.
Moving on to field trips.
Mr. President, members of the board, we have 3 secondary field trips seeking your approval. Winter Percussion Ensemble would like to travel to Dayton, Ohio, for the WGI World Championships contest on April 6th April 16th through the 18th, 2026. Orchestra students traveling to Cedar Point, Cleveland, to see the symphony on May 16th and 17th, 2026. And Lyndhurst Aspire team to visit the Griffin Science and Industry Museum, Navy Pier, and a river cruise in Chicago on May 9th. I may be joining them. The same thing. Respectfully, I request for approval of these field trips.
I move.
For approval for the listed field trips.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion regarding the field trips? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Walters. Field trips are approved.
Thank you.
Moving on to the cybersecurity pilot grant.
Mr. President, members of the board, we applied for the federal government's cybersecurity pilot grant, and we were awarded with $614,000. We sent out RFPs, and 4 companies bidded and won. CDWG got Abnormal, which is for our email security. Network Solutions is going to provide us with a firewall to prevent bad actors. Network Solutions is going to provide us with DO. DO is logging onto your device. You need to authenticate with a cell phone. We're going to expand it to all employees for 3 years. And CDW government also got Falcon Complete. Government is giving us Falcon Complete, but they're not giving us the advance. The advance will prevent foreign attackers from attacking our network. So all these 4 are for our cybersecurity environment, and I kindly present this for your approval.
I move for approval of the cybersecurity pilot grant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the cybersecurity pilot grant. Any comment or discussion?
I would just say kudos to Dr. Harvey and the IT team. Since we have implemented Abnormal, which is an AI product, we have found hundreds of thousands of phishing scams already that are coming in. It's amazing the number that are coming into our system.
How many have Brandon's name on them?
I did not authorize any checks.
Or Dr. Butt's offering.
Jobs, right? $50 an hour, yeah. It's been really interesting, and so Dr. Harvey, actually, we have a new folder in our inbox that some of us are not yet accustomed to checking, that sends all these messages for us to go through and make sure that we are filtering through. And some of them are ones that need to be moved over to our inbox, but a lot of them are ones that can be deleted. But it's been excellent. And, you know, one of the things when we talk about spending $70,000 outside of this grant, it's well worth that cost over a 3-year period of time to avoid us having to shut our entire system down, or to not be able to make payroll, or to lose all of our data, or any of those, those kinds of things that we know are happening to school districts all over. And quite frankly, the ransom on that will be significantly higher than that $70,000. So it's a great expense, a great expenditure to protect the tens of thousands of devices that we have in corporations.
So we have to pay 61,000. Okay.
Yeah, that's the differential between what the grant was and what the cost for the four different systems are.
Is it like another spam folder, like you check and it's kind of like that?
Yes.
Some of it's good, some of it's
That's
bad.
right.
Okay.
That's right. So we have a spam folder, and then we have our other folder.
Okay.
Green mail?
Yeah, I didn't know if I could bulge the name of it. Okay. Yeah, so we have a folder called gray mail that we go in and,
Okay.
yeah. And it ends up with a couple hundred emails in there a day, so. Yeah,
I do have one question. Will the board also have Duo,
Yes,
and will it support it? You already have an account?
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
normally people ask if they not have Duo. I'd like to not have Duo. I'd like to remove my Duo.
I will say, I used to have a little thing, but it's so much more convenient to have it on my phone, because I would forget my thing all the time,
As
so,
long as you have service.
yeah, right.
There's been times when we're all walking out of the boardroom trying to.
Any additional comment or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Harvey. The cybersecurity pilot grant was approved. And Dr. Harvey, I believe we'll stay with you for the technology surplus.
Mr. President, members of the board, I present to you a list of obsolete devices and damaged devices that we want to dispose of. They are made up of access points, switches, Chromebooks that are damaged, and old photocopiers. They are just occupying space, they are of no use, and we're trying to dispose of them so we can have some space at OPS, Operation Center for other machinery and other devices. The list is presented for your approval.
I move for approval of the items listed on the technology surplus list to be disposed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the technology surplus. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the technology surplus is approved. Thank you, Dr. Harvey.
Thank you so very much.
Moving on to the self-insurance resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, included in documents this evening, you'll find the resolution to establish an improved self-insurance fund. This is a unique one, and I'll give you a little background on kind of what brings it to you this evening and what it really is indicating here in this resolution. But this is a cost-saving strategy at its core related to our liability insurance. So just some quick numbers there. In 2020, we paid basically 1.1 million for our liability insurance. In 2024, that was 1.8 million. And likely in 2025, without these cost savings, would have been 1.9 million. So pretty extraordinary increase in those costs over the last 5 to 6 years. As we engage with Epic, our insurance broker, of course, we have expressed concern about that, as them to bring us some potential strategies to alleviate some of that. And the self-insured fund and self-insured retention are one of those strategies that they brought to us. And so as a result, we were able to reduce our fixed premium costs from that 1.9 million to 1.65 million. The trade-off is that we're assuming a little bit more risk on our own. And so for claims, we have the potential to pay up to the first $100,000 those liability claims. Within this, the analysis of whether this is a good decision, we look back 10 years at what that differential was and what our costs have been. In 9 of those 10 years, we would have saved money anywhere from $20,000 to up to about $180,000 in a given year. The 1 year where we would have come out on the wrong side of that was only by $5,000. So this self-insurance fund, similar to our health insurance self-insurance fund, would be established and we populate it with dollars. And then as you can imagine, if they're not spent, keep those there and hopefully be able to build up some balance in that fund. So that if there were a year where things maybe didn't go quite as well, we would be able to cover that. Or if we're able to build it up at an even higher level, potentially use that to pay for some of those liability insurance fixed costs. So a few moving pieces there. The other part is those claims that would be handled on our end, up to that 100,000 would be handled by JWF. That's our current partner for workers' compensation claims. We have a great relationship with them, and that reduces the administrative burden for those claims on the MSD and Wayne Township staff. That's all rolled into the fixed costs that we already pay with that. I welcome any questions that you have and respectfully ask approval of the resolution to establish and approve self-insurance.
Make a motion to adopt the self-insurance resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Dr. Samuel, we'll start off with a couple of questions. Great idea. Math is math. I think you've got a well thought plan. Is there anything in this change that will attract negative attention from state legislators, might be frowned upon from that aspect? And then kind of the second part of the question is MSD of Wayne Township a trailblazer with this endeavor, or is there a precedent with other school corporations?
Both excellent questions. I don't believe there's anything that there would be an objection to. And with regard to both of those questions, as part of due diligence, I do meet with other brokers to talk about strategies and you know, make sure that we're representing the interests of the district at the highest level. And through those conversations, was able to relay our analysis with this strategy and able to vet and seek confirmation that this is a valid plan, that it is utilized. I don't think at a really high level. I believe from those conversations, I think larger districts have a little bit more capacity and ability to handle this type of risk. And so it is a little bit more specific to that, but so it is used, but I don't believe at a higher level.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I also have a couple of questions. You talked about using funds to build up for this. Where do those funds come from?
Correct. So we would just transfer some cash balance into this fund as seed money and then kind of continue there. So in a perfect world, the other option is if we don't spend any, we would leave it right where it's at. Sure. You know, so I think that's kind of an analysis for every year, whether we need to top it off to a certain dollar amount or kind of roll with it where it's reserved.
Hopefully we have no claims, but would those claims be from employees, student injuries as well too, if there's a suit or?
Yeah,
Okay.
so all of those pieces would fall under that, general liability, school leaders, errors and omissions, even like that.
Somebody coming into the building, something happening, that kind of, any of those type of claims could be paid out of that. That's correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that resolution passes. Thank you, Dr. Samuel.
Thank you.
Moving on to board information and comment, Dr. Buss.
We do have a few things. Your exit ticket tonight is your lunch reservation or your lunch menu for Bianca for the upcoming conference. So it should be at your table. If you please fill that out, get it to Bianca before you leave this afternoon so that we can order in advance and be expeditious in our lunch plans for the ISBA IAPSS conference. I do want to acknowledge we have 2 birthdays coming up. This upcoming Saturday will be Ramika Graham's 25th. Is that right?
26.
26. I was close. I knew I was close. Also celebrating her 26th next Tuesday will be Susan Graves. So if we could sing happy birthday to Ramika and Susan, that would fit right along with our tradition. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You know, both we have great celebrations and are able to be with loved ones and enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to give an update, board, as you're probably familiar, AES, our utility company, has requested a rate increase with the regulatory commission. And their proposal, which is to be finalized or decision to be finalized next spring, if for a 7.5% increase for residential in 2026, with another 6% increase in 2027, a total of 13.5%. In addition to a 6% increase already approved for some grid projects. So all total, that's 19.5%. But wait, as a school municipality, we're looking at about a 23% increase in the next 2 years in our utility rates. If those are approved. So if you consider over the last 10 years, I think we've seen a 70, right, about 70% increase in the last 10 years. So this will take us over that really close to that 100% increase mark in the last decade for, our utility services. Just round numbers, we're looking, if this increase goes through, we'll be spending about $4 million a year on just utilities. With Senate Enrolled Act 1, that could be our entire operation budget potentially or more, depending on what that looks like. So when you think about those increases, and just another thank you to the board, and one of the things that I'll be fortunate to present on at the conference is our energy management program that you have supported for so long. If we did not have all of these things in place with our battery towers, our LED lighting, our solar arrays, our variable speed controls, all of the things that you've allowed us to do, I can't imagine what our utility rates would be. So the fact that we're able to benefit from that is terrific. I will say one of my new causes, hopefully, in my new role, will be to advocate that public schools are built differently than we currently are. We're built on usage, not on peak rate. We think that'll be beneficial for us. So the Utility Regulatory Commission is a powerful entity. I don't know that I'll make much headway there, but know that that's one of the things that I'm going to be trying to accomplish as we think about the utility rates and the impact they're having on school budgets. So just want to give you a heads up there. We'll continue to monitor that. Still some time for public comment before that is officially approved. And of course, the governor has put together a commission to study utility rates as well. Also at your table is our itinerary for next Monday for the ISBA IPSS conference. You'll notice on there we have 2 waves of departure. And just to make sure that I'm still correct, Mrs. Graham, Mrs. O'Day Marcotte, and Mr. Templeman, you'll be driving yourselves. Is that correct? Okay. And then so you can see who you're riding with. You're not necessarily riding home with the ride that brought you, but we'll divide up because I know we're going to 3 different places after the conference and afterwards. So you can see where who the drivers are there, so you have a sense of who to look for at the conference, and the drivers know who they're taking, which is equally as important. So first opening session, 8:45. Just remember, we'll be up in the front right as you walk in. So front right of the 500 ballroom is typically where we sit, so we can sit together there. We've got a little bit of an extended period of time for lunch this year. They've changed some of the things around. I know Mr. Bowman is going to be meeting with the ISBA legislative folks, and so he is not going to be able to join us for lunch. Got time for the exhibits, clinic sessions in the afternoon, and then we'll stop by the reception. It's right there outside of the session rooms at the convention center. So we'll stop by there at 4:30. For those who are going to the Meyer Nato event, be able to walk from the convention center, is right almost catty corner from there. Those who are going to the Schmidt event will be driving, and then there's a group that will be coming back here to the education center. So hopefully that'll give you a little bit better idea of what our day is going to look like. And then, before we know it, the Claremont Parade is right around the corner. September the 20th, so a week from this Saturday. Again, we'll meet at the Roby Elementary parking lot in the back there at 9:45. 10 o'clock, we'll jump on the child nutrition bus. It makes it a lot easier for us to not have to worry about the mini, and they'll take us over to the church. 10:30, we'll load the parade vehicles. We have new signage, updated signage for that. And then parade will start at 11 o'clock, be over by 11:30. And there is a rodeo this year. So if you're the rodeo's back. I don't know how they got insurance, but the rodeo's back. They're insurance. It's self-insurance. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. That'll be problematic if they are. So we had a wonderful day today, Administrative Color Conference downtown for IEPSS, wonderful breakout sessions. That conference continues tomorrow for half a day. And then we're getting into the third round of this one. This is our fourth round. Holy cow, 4th round already. National Institute for School and Systems Leadership kicks off this week as well. So a lot going on in the district. We take it on Center Grove at Center Grove this Friday for anybody's interested. If you'd like to go to a home flag football game, our girls play Wednesday night, 7 p.m. will be on the turf. So
The girls are really good and it's a lot of fun to watch.
That's right, that's right. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Butts. Any additional board information or comment this evening? Take a motion and a second to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn at 7:15 PM.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:15.
Oh, I forgot. One day.